you have yours logged in? Yours is logged in?
What a great lick.
Do you want me to go?
Mine's just recorded.
Love them guitars.
Hell yeah.
How about when you're in deer camp and you hear,
You're live? Do you know live then?
I'm about to.
Okay.
you hear, what a fucking song.
Gives me goosebumps.
Awesome.
Goosey bumps.
The day before the opener. Here
All right, so Aaron's getting our live set
I
up
know.
here.
Go, Aaron, go.
we're gonna-
film. 3, 2, 1, go. Hi, Dale. How you doing?
How you doing?
Are we filming?
Hell yeah.
Fucking people.
I know. It's my fault.
There's a
Oh,
plane
oh,
gonna hit the building. Let me
oh,
adjust my. Oh, you missed it.
We always gotta wait for the women, right?
That's right. I'll give him one for you, Aaron.
Don't forget your number one.
Here, sniff some of this shit,
you go.
motherfucker. Nude
Out
nuggets.
this morning.
Bruce Springsteen does not have buck lure.
He ain't got a nutsack either.
He doesn't have. He's not a buck. He needs a buck lure. The bucks are luring him.
All right.
All right, now I think
Yeah.
we're ready.
Deer camp.
Hell yeah. Spirit of the
Oregon?
Wild.
We are filming. We're live, folks.
We're live on Facebook.
Are we live on Facebook right now? You expect me to believe we have the technology from the Man Cave Cuckoo's Nest with Ted Nugent and Darren on Michigan Deer Hunters that we're live right now? With that red head behind the camera, I'm stimulated. It's
Aaron's
opening
helping us
day
out.
tomorrow. No, it's not about her. It's about opening. It has nothing to do with her. It's all about deer hunting. Dale, I love Michigan deer
Yes.
hunting. You're a Michigan deer hunter.
I'm a deer
Michigan
hunter.
deer hunter. Troy's a Michigan deer hunter. Troy's a Michigan deer. Aaron's a Michigan
We
deer
got
hunter.
the crew all here.
I feel the spirit of the wild. I have a
Yes.
full backstrap erection.
There's
By
nothing,
the way, that's legal. Anybody that's upset with that, you might want to go down to the gay parade.
well, there's nothing better than the day before opening day.
Well, actually,
15th.
as the sun,
well, there is a lot of good days.
As the sun goes down on the 15th, and
There you
hopefully
go.
you're up to your guts and up to your elbows and guts. But it is a mystical time, and it's so
It is.
good that you've created a celebration with the high technology of the social media, because if ever there was the ultimate social media before there was technical social media, it would have been the social media at deer camp. Not
Right.
just Michigan, but worldwide. But I really believe, Dale, and you got to believe this, the tradition in Michigan, I think, is more powerful. And I know the guys in Pennsylvania will say they're number one. I don't think Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin was the big three, and now it's nationwide. But I believe the tradition of November 15th in Michigan, and back on the first archery season, November 1st, 1937, I think it was, in Allegan State Park.
Yep.
It's mystical.
It is.
It is. It's not as important as the birth of Jesus, which we celebrate on Christmas, or maybe the birthdays of our loving family members, or Independence Day, or Memorial Day, or Veterans Day, or Thanksgiving. But opening day is right up there with those, isn't it?
It is. It really is. There's just so much
Magic.
tradition involved with
You
it.
can tell I'm like out of my mind getting ready to go through the woods in the dark and scratch my eyes and stumble and fall. By the way, at 77 years of age, I do fall. On my way to my stand, I'm going, tip over like an old codger. I'm an old codger. Enjoy the old codger. Don't criticize the old codger. Just shut up and enjoy me.
Tell me about like your early days of November 15th.
Well, I was there in 1949. I was born in 1948. My dad was already a gung-ho deer hunter. Well, I wouldn't say gung-ho deer hunter. My dad was a gung-ho casual deer hunter.
Okay.
He only killed one deer in his life. And that's because I set up the stand next to a trail in a cut cornfield. There may have been some apples nearby. And that was on Deering Road along 94 back around 1982, 1983. The Nugent family would always get together, mostly up north in the Manistee National Forest. We have a cabin up there. But we'd go up to Hillman and Hawks in as early as 57, 58. We'd stay up near Standish. We'd go through Standish, your territory, and at Fletcher's Floodwaters up in Hillman.
Yep.
And we didn't have the faintest idea what we were doing. We'd go walk in the woods and hopefully a deer will show up. We didn't know about wind direction.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was vocalizations, grunts or bleats or snort wheezes. I didn't know what a scrape or a rub was. We only knew what deer poop looked like, and we'd say, "Here's some poop over here. There must be a deer here. I'm going to sit right here next to this poop tomorrow morning." That was the extent of our scouting.
It really is. I mean, things have really, the technical side is really taken into hunting.
Yes, but when I see a lot of contention out there, that's high tech and trophy hunting has ruined our sport. Well, maybe for you it has. I'm the 10-year-old kid in November 1957, staying in a little shack, no running water, no electricity. We had to carry the water, and wood stove, which I have at my cabin right now. I'm telling you, my deer hunting, I have the high-tech bows, and I know all about we really do know all about deer life.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the spirit and the excitement, the anticipation, because tomorrow morning I own the best deer ground in the world. It's mine. I live on it. I know every trail. I know where every poop is. I know every rub. I put out mock scrapes everywhere. I got bait and I got food plots. But tomorrow morning, it's just like that kid following his dad with my black and red Pendleton, actually Stormy Cromer, outfit. Back then it was Herman's Survivors. You remember the Herman's Survivors?
I remember that. Yeah, I do remember
They
those.
were not warm.
No.
So as I hunt every day. Mm-hmm. Last night I was in a blind, an elevated blind, and it was just like the 10-year-old or the 12-year-old or the 20-year-old or the 77-year-old. It's this, my show is called, my song is called, my album is called, my life is called The Spirit of the Wild. So I don't care how minute of angle your 450 Bushmaster is. I don't care about I do care about your trajectory compensating scope and your descenting products and your super duper lure. And your mock scrapes and your super dupers food plots. God, I do all that. But that isn't what drives us.
Exactly.
Probably tomorrow morning, I will find a big oak tree with the southwest wind looking southwest in the anticipation that they're up in the agriculture heading for the marsh in the morning. And I'll probably sit down at the base of an oak tree and I'll kick the leaves out of the way. So when I do have to move for the shot, I'm as quiet as possible. I did learn that in 1957. Yeah. And it's going to be like every other opening day. It's just a special moment in time that, like Fred Bear said, cleanses the soul. And in this ugly, stupid world of corruption and criminality and abuse of power by our own game agencies, by our own government, by the thievery, the dishonesty, by Uncle Sam and all of his gang members, when it's an hour before daylight and you're sitting there and I got a little thermos of coffee in my pocket and maybe a a tuna salad from the Pulaski Mall, thanks to Troy Sandy. That's your entire being. Mm-hmm. There is no corruption. There's no lies. There's no DNR goofball coming to see if I relocated apples. None of that stupidity. It's gone. Mm-hmm. It is the perfect recreation moment, recreating my spirit, because I fight like a son of a bitch. I fight these bureaucrats in all 50 states and in Canada. I tried to save the ostriches. I tried to get rid of C-68, the gun confiscation law up in Canada. I worked with people in France to get bow hunting legalized. So I need more soul cleansing than most guys, because I'm a fighting animal. And when I was in that blind last night, perfect. Mm-hmm. I was in the duck blind this morning. I told Shemaine I almost cry. You can't get happier than I am.
Exactly.
You can't get happier. I'm tearing up right now. When you're in that woods on November 15th, you can't, there's no more, and I know about graduations, and I know about the birth of a child, and I don't want to diminish those pivotal, soulful moments of life. Yeah. But thank God for November 15th. And what used to be October 1st, of course, now the DNR is against us, so they have the guns going off before the bow, and they just spit on Fred Bear's grave instead of having an early, quiet archery season. So we're working on that to get back to where the archery is the first season, the quiet season, before any guns go off. And I'm a gun hunter. I am a gun. But the tradition of quiet archery season is gone because the guns go off first. Yeah. So all those moments are magic. But as a diehard maniac bow hunter, I am the Motor City bow hunting madman. And right now I'm the Motor City minivan madman because I have to have a minivan for the dogs. Tomorrow morning, one of the last perfect human, calming, yet stimulating celebrations available to mankind. That was quite a soliloquy I just laid on you. But I think I represent 99% of Michigan hunters.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think the difference too, like when you think of like October 1st, as amazing of a day and exciting a day that is, like when I look back to my traditions with November 15th, that day starts even earlier because, like you said, I mean, we all go and we want to get that big buck, but the whole camp scenario, the whole thing starts with the drive up north. It starts at the camp itself.
And back
it's
in the 50s,
whole experience.
Back in the 50s, we'd drive north on probably November 14th because you didn't have much time.
Sit in traffic.
And it was a traffic jam. And I waved. Everybody had an old black and red checkered outfit. And you'd wave, and I'd have my quiver full of arrows because I'd take my bow up north no matter what it was for. And I would look for other cars that had arrows, and I'd get all excited. I got arrows. You got arrows. We're arrow people. I still do that.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, people are driving around Michigan right now. Guys are almost getting in accidents with their pickup truck because they're rolling down the road. Hey, Uncle Ted, thanks for fighting the DNR. Hey, watch out! You're gonna relax, okay? People are killing themselves to thank me for crushing bureaucrats that are abusing their power. So there is a blood brotherhood. Mm-hmm. The term blood brother is aboriginal for people who can rely on each other. Self-sufficiency, rugged individualism, honesty, integrity, down-to-earth, grounded. Those words describe your average deer hunting family in America, particularly in Michigan, because of the leadership we've had in the past, going all the way back to Morton F. and even Fred Trost was kind of an interesting guy. And certainly what Fred Bear established. I think Fred Bear's integrity, honesty, and spirit, it rubbed off on everybody because he had such a glow about him, and everything was about conservation. Everything was about nature. Everything was about being the best that you can be. Everything was about, reading our relationship, our cause and effect with wildlife so that we could earn the right place and right time and learn those lessons of the wild. So it's powerful stuff. So everybody out there, I love you people. I love you, November 15th celebration army. Get out there, be safe, my God. I had our John Rich, incredible artist, songwriter, musician. He called me because he was going on his first pheasant hunt. And I will repeat to all my friends here that John says, I've never pheasant hunted. What do I do? And I said, John, you're going with Tucker Carlson and a bunch of guys with Governor Kristi Noem, Secretary Kristi Noem in South Dakota, Pheasant Heaven. I said, I want you to write this down. You ready? Muzzle. Muzzle. Say it, John. Well, what do you mean? Muzzle. Where is the muzzle of your shotgun? If it crosses something you're not willing to destroy, they will kick you out of the hunt. So there's no such thing as an accidental discharge, only negligent discharges. So muzzle, muzzle, muzzle. Historically, well, I heard something, so I shot. I think those days are over.
Yeah.
Nobody's that stupid anymore, I hope. But tree stand stuff, safety harnesses.
Right.
Don't load your gun till you get to your stand. Load it when you get there. I know it makes a little bit of noise, but when you're moving to your stand. So safety, 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 because all the perfect, unbelievable, immeasurable joy of the deer hunt will be destroyed if somebody gets hurt.
Exactly.
So safety, 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 aim small, miss small. And I don't care how old the buck is, and I don't care what his score is. Shoot him. Shoot that backstrapper if you so desire. Trophy is in the eye of the beholder. I have a button buck mounted on my cabin wall and a yearling doe mounted up here. My first two deer I killed in 68, November 15th, and October of 69. And so the spirit of our self-sufficient responsibility to feed our family, that's really the instinct that we are all unleashing on November 15th. Some might forget that in this crazy high-tech world, but it's as pure as the first stone upside a mastodon's head to get meat and tools and weapons and guts and blood and hooves and glue. And the beast is the source of our life on every level. So take it seriously, but have the time of your life. And if you're going to have a beer, it's better than a Coke. But my God, don't get drunk. Just don't get drunk at camp. Don't get drunk ever. Look, can you imagine if I got drunk? I'd have killed all of you by now. If you want to go crazy, just say, hey, let's go crazy, but be responsible. I'm a wild man, but I know where my muzzle's pointing, and I know what my cause and effect is, and I want to make sure that I'm an asset to my fellow deer camp friends. Yeah. And you don't want to be belligerent or obnoxious. And I suppose if you want to pull off these little jokes where you have a bucket of water and the guy gets all wet and ruins his hunting clothes, to those, it's just so stupid. What do they call that when you?
I think what that is.
Stupid.
Yeah, stupid. So just have the time. It's a special day, and let's keep it special.
Yeah, I think that's one thing, though. Safety can never be emphasized too much. I know growing up, my dad was like that. Before every hunt, he always took us boys aside, reminded us of safety. And
muzzle.
And we've carried that on even with my brothers now. When we hunt, we always, hey, be safe. And because we want to have fun. Sure. But we never want to have an accident. And
because I have a big mouth and I promote conservation and gun ownership and gun responsibility all the time, I hear from a lot of people whose family members have been injured in gun negligence. Guys who are completely blind because a woodcock went up and somebody swung the muzzle towards his brother's face. Guys that have taken rounds. There's one story in Montana where they were going through a fence and they didn't unload their weapons, and the father's gun went off, killed his son, and he was so distraught he killed himself. That's horrific as horrific can be. But that was not an accident. That was negligence. Nobody goes through a fence with a loaded gun. Right. So a lot of simple things will make it that much more fun if we're conscientious and cautious. And again, I'm the Motor City Madman, but I'm extremely conscientious and cautious.
So back in your, like when you were hunting in the beginning though, how big was your deer camp? Was it just a couple guys? Was it bigger or?
Well, typically it would be my dad, my brother Jeff, and my brother John's out about 6 years. He passed away a few years ago, just a horrible heartbreak. But my mom and dad, my brother Jeff, my uncle John, the Schmidt family down in Dearborn, Richard L. Schmidt, Tool and Die, they own the property up in Hillman with a little shack. Again, no running water or electricity. Just that rugged, basic camp life. And eventually I bought a little cabin up north, and that became a real tradition where the extended family would get together. But I remember staying in tents in blizzards.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things in life is in a tent with someone special, in a blizzard with a little tiny, what do you call that little burner? Bunsen burner. That was the source of heat. And then extended in Africa with foot safaris, and Alaska staying in tents, and Canada staying in tents. But I remember those really difficult, uncomfortable times, which I remember so well that I'll never do it again. I did it a lot. Now I have a wood burner and I have electricity. And I have a man cave cuckoo's nest where I can clean my guns without stinking the whole place up with Hoppy's number 9, which I now gargle. So it was real rugged, real primitive, and I think it makes you stronger. The more difficult the conditions, the more reliable and capable you become. Yeah. I remember as a little boy at deer camp, we'd rent a little cabin, and again, no electricity, had a little oil stove, a little oil burner, and a wood stove. And even as a little boy, 5, 6, 7 years old, my job was to go down to the river and get a bucket of water and to get firewood, to scavenge firewood out of the woods, to be an asset to camp life. And when I found friends up north that had a cabin, I'd made sure I always came with a loaf of bread, lettuce, sandwich meat, and cheese, and paper towel and toilet paper. So if you're going to somebody else's camp, at least bring some stuff for them.
There you go.
You should never enter camp without bringing paper towel, toilet paper, and some good snacks. Preferably not sugary crap, because most of you guys are too fat.
No, I remember, like I said, when we started hunting, our group was my dad, a couple of his buddies, and then us kids. And one thing I do remember and I respect is that even though we were younger, the older dads and friends and stuff, they treated us with respect.
Sure.
But there was that...
But discipline.
Discipline,
Yeah.
but there was that learning too. They taught us stuff. They might play a joke or something on us.
Yeah,
that was all part of deer
about
camp.
before, practical jokes.
Right.
getting your heated socks wet. Your battery operated sock.
Yeah.
That's not funny. I needed those socks.
But
I remember standing in Whitey. I had a little cabin up in Irons, and they didn't like me because I had long hair. They made me sleep on the porch. But I still brought them some toilet paper and some. And I think I was the only guy that brought supplies. So they went, "Hey, this long-haired hippie's not a bad guy." And I wasn't a hippie. In fact, I busted more hippies than the DEA. So how you function, how you perform in deer camp is very telling.
Yeah.
You're talking about the camaraderie and the teamwork and gathering firewood and bringing water and bringing supplies, doing the dishes,
right?
Cleaning up, sweeping, all the little things that I've always been forced to do. That's called parenting. And if you spend time with Toby or Rock or any of my kids, you'll see that they're always pitching in. They're always looking for something to do to make the conditions more comfortable and not be a liability, but be an asset. But my memory bank, like I unleashed some of the stories out there. I could keep you here for 1,000,000 years with the stories. One story, opening day 78, November 15th, 1978, I had a Browning Safari Grade 7 mag, beautiful Browning rifle. Had the old Mauser 98 action, which all bolt actions are based upon. And it was drizzling on November 15th. And we're all dressed, ready to go. It's an hour before sunrise, and we're getting out. Uncle John, my dad, my brother Jeff, my brother John, my mom's in the kitchen. And I wanted to come in and just put some 3-in-1 oil. We use a 3-in-1 oil, a little rag of 3-in-1 oil. So I went into the bedroom, and I took the 3-in-1 oil rag, and I just touched the bolt. Pow! That gun went off.
Wow.
But at muzzle. The muzzle was pointed at the floor into the corner. The bullet went through the wall. That woke everybody up.
Oh, I bet.
But you notice there were multiple lawsuits about that action, that bolt action.
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
And I know a couple guys that had that happen where the safety was on. I wasn't anywhere near the trigger, Alec Baldwin notwithstanding. And the gun went off, but boy, my dad, he let me have it. Finger had to be by the trigger. We didn't know about the Remington 700 lawsuits at that time.
Okay.
So I go, well, maybe it was. I guess maybe the gun went off. Of course, you're a wreck when you have a negligent discharge. Yeah. You're in shock for a long time after that. Mm-hmm. But it turned out that I didn't touch the trigger. The gun just went off because somehow you touched the bolt. Wow. And that Remington 700, I think in about a dozen instances over the years, lawsuits have indicated. So muzzle.
Right, exactly.
At least I had the muzzle safe.
Because I see that a lot of times I do remind people, even like you get excited, you get a deer, and you want to get a nice picture, and sometimes you see where the gun is, well, even when if you point the gun like even laying on the deer.
Yes, open that action.
Yeah, and just to promote safety, keep the gun even pointed in a safe direction all the time. It's just, you can never be too safe.
Everybody there celebrating the dead deer in the picture, open your actions.
Yep.
All bolts back, levers up, single shots broke. Yeah, safety, because it's so much fun. I mean, the memories, it'll take you, literally, the deer camp memories will help you throughout the year till next deer season.
Exactly.
I mean, they're that powerful. And how lucky are we that we know this and we do this? Think of the poor people out there that have never been to deer camp. Their lives aren't as enriched as ours.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, just look at Bruce Springsteen. I mean, the guy just doesn't know anything. He's never been to deer camp. Love the guy. So how we should celebrate that however we got initiated into the deer hunting lifestyle from our family, our elders, our dads, our uncles, whatever, or we just discovered it. I mean, I hear from people all the time, they never hunted, they never even thought about hunting, but they watch my Spirit of the Wild TV show and they go, how do I get into this? This guy's having an awful lot of fun. How can I need to do this. Yeah. So I've recruited tens of thousands of people because I exude high energy, excitement, and happiness. And sure, we need to talk about ethics, but ethics is an individual decision without an audience. That's what ethics are determined by. If you follow your conscience and follow a sense of decency and conscientiousness towards the animal and the laws, though we're going to fix a lot of the really stupid laws. But it's such an individual pursuit, but it's enhanced in a deer camp setting because you got a united celebration of this lifestyle. And so as we pursue our November 15th, we hear it all the time, and it's worth repeating. The safety thing, always repeat it, and recruitment. Yep. Maybe the neighbor kid's watching you and your son shoot your bow. Invite him over. Get a lightweight bow that he can shoot. Get him close to the target. Let him experience. Because everybody loves this. Everybody loves a projectile. Everybody loves a .22. Everybody loves a BB gun. So if we just reach out to our neighbors and our friends at work and school and church and wherever you may be, invite those other families to join you because they will they will want to do it more if we initiate it.
That's how I've always done on my Facebook. The way that works, you can do like these private groups or you can do like an open page. Mine has always been open because that has been my goal. I want people to see the good of deer hunting, the family, the camaraderie, and that's what I want people to look at that and be like, I want to try that. That looks like a lot of fun.
It's contagious.
It really is.
On our Ted Nugent Camp for Kids, 35 years running, we get a lot of inner city kids. Some of them are problem kids, and they think that the bows and arrows and fishing that's not cool until the bobber moves. And all of a sudden the bobber goes down and become a fisherman. And as soon as they realize that, well, I missed the bullseye, but maybe if I hold over here, I'm even closer. I got to try that again. It's contagious. Projectile management. That's the name of one of my companies. Managing your projectiles, archery, BB guns, whatever it is. And then the spirit of the wild. Nobody will go for a walk in the woods and not want to go for a walk in the woods again. I'm absolutely convinced that. Even with the propaganda against
one of you guys want to hop in here?
Yeah.
Sorry, you want to hop in for a second?
Go nuts.
We're going to do a little swap here because we got some guys on our crew. We got a couple Troys and we got Aaron. We're going to do a little swap.
Go nuts. Yeah,
Thank you for the talk so far.
You bet, yeah.
We'll be back.
I know I get a little
We're still live here, so we're going to get a little different point of view for some...
we can all get in here, snuggle around the guitar.
There you go.
I'll go around with that.
Yeah.
All right, this is Erin. Erin, you're a deer hunting woman, right?
I am.
I love deer hunting.
we're gonna go ahead and put
My
this
wife
in
is
here.
the queen of the forest. Is your wife the queen of the forest?
Oh,
There you go.
Will they catch? Get her right, snuggle right next to me. You're short. You can stand next to me.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Will they show up all in here? Look at this
our,
gang. This is like the Ted Nugent
This
deer
is
camp.
the Michigan Deer Hunter crew, and
Michigan
we
Deer
have
Hunter
ultimate guy here.
Is
Ted
this on?
Nugent.
Show the handsome boys
Got
over
everybody
there.
in here?
Hello,
He
boys.
does a great squat. That's a great
All
squat.
right, so we want to talk about tomorrow too. We're going to be at Jerome Country Market for the buckpole traditions.
Yeah, Jerome Country Market, the best butcher of venison in the world. Take your deer to Jerome Country Market in Jerome, Michigan. Those guys are my knifing heroes.
They're great.
Yeah, so we're going to be there tomorrow talking to hunters. Troy's got everything. He's been dealing with them, or both of you guys, for quite a long time, haven't you?
17, 18 years, and it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
It's the biggest buck pole in America, I think. Isn't
In
it?
the world,
I think it's the
I
biggest
really
buck
do.
pole. Maybe I'll fire up a Bronco and come and swap bloody
love to have
knives
you
or
come
something.
by. That
I'd
would be
love to do
awesome.
that if I don't fall asleep.
I'll call you, wake you up. Yeah.
Or maybe in the middle of the day, maybe
Well,
after
you
the
got to bring your
morning
buck
hunt.
up there tomorrow, right?
Say again?
We can bring your buck up there.
I hope I can bring my
There
buck
you
up
go.
there tomorrow.
We
I have
took
a
last
tag.
year's buck up.
I have a tag.
Yeah.
I love
It's
tags.
going to be awesome. But if you guys are new to following this page, I'm Dale, and we're with Ted Nugent. We have
And Aaron,
here. Aaron's
and
been
Troy
helping
and
us
Troy.
out. Two Troys.
These are my blood brothers.
Yes. I met Ted Nugent through Troy Sandy. I was at Ted's concert a couple years ago, and
What a great concert it
Great
was.
concert.
I certainly had a good
Every
time.
one of them is.
Every
Every
one
one of them is.
Love that guitar lick.
Concert you just did for us just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, especially when I play Fred Bear, man. People elevate. They literally levitate off the ground.
Gives me goosebumps.
It gives me
now-
goosebumps.
so Aaron's from Louisiana, right?
Right.
The Sportsman's Paradise.
That's right.
They're having their first bear hunt this year.
They are.
Yes. I helped get Jeff Landry elected governor of that
Florida
state.
is also, right?
Well, Florida's having a bear hunt, but unfortunately, the animal rights people are getting all the tags.
Yeah, sounds about
And
right.
Florida blew it. 187 tags. You need 187 tags per county.
So we were talking about kids, getting kids out there.
Yeah.
I have 5.
You're like a kid.
I am like a kid, yes. I have 5-year-old twins, and I actually texted Dale yesterday. My daughter, I went out hunting in the morning, and my daughter was downstairs pretending to shoot deer like mama.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's incredible.
It is contagious
Yeah,
because it's
it is.
so natural, it's so instinctual, and on an intellectual and spiritual level, it's so right. It's such you have to hunt. You have a moral obligation to harvest the surplus every year. And once again, it's the last really quality, healthy diet in the world, venison or wild game of any kind. But yeah, you get a kid exposed to the shooting sports and the great outdoors, and 99 times out of 100, they will want to continue it.
They will,
So you're
yeah.
a good mom.
Thank you.
So
That means a
Troy,
lot.
you and Ted hunt quite a bit together, right?
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah. The
We're
room's
old
over.
backstrappers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we sure
Yeah.
do. And we've had some fun times. You were talking earlier about driving down the road with the arrows and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And looking. Remember on 94 when the guys had the stickers and you
Yes,
put the window
yes.
down and you gave them 2 thumbs up?
You almost
they about
crashed.
shit themselves. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But it's a good time, and as you can see, even before we started this video, we were outside and we were just talking and just throwing some good
It's
stories
so
out there.
exciting.
And that's the deer camp tradition.
Yeah.
You know, that's the fun of this weekend and really the whole season. It doesn't have to be just this weekend.
Well, and that's yes, November 15th is special, but I've been doing this every day since the middle of August. I mean, I come up to Michigan every year around August, especially to do my gigs. But I have a game preserve down the road, and I start hunting in August for hogs and deer. And I start my trap line early, and I start squirrel hunting right away. So yes, November 15th has a mystical alignment of special planets. But my life is a deer camp every day, all the time. So tomorrow's the acceleration of November 15th, but I literally hunt every day.
And that's your peace in the wild world.
Yes, and I need peace in the wild world. I love the wild world, but the wild world, bureaucracy-wise, is not a nice world. Our wild outdoor world is still perfect. It really is. These are the good old days of hunting. There's been certain fluctuations over the years, but as far as target rich, a lot of deer, there's a lot of ducks, there's lots of squirrels. I even have lots of pheasant and quail now because I reintroduced them. But these are the good old days of hunting because we know more, we understand our relationship with the deer, we understand deer better. But again, there's a Foreigner song called feels like the first time. Yeah. Every November 15th feels like the first and most important November 15th. Yes. And I think the goal in life, no, I don't think, the goal in life is as many opening days as you can get.
Yes. And don't take any for granted because you don't know when the next one's going to come, you know. So it's a blessing every year to be able to be at deer camp. And we look forward to tomorrow. Like I said, Aaron, Troy, senior and junior, we're going to be at Jerome and we're going to be talking to hunters. And that's what we want to hear. We want to hear people's stories. We want to hear the excitement in that hunter's voice and just.
And if you can't make it, send us an email or message us.
Yeah, it's a tradition of Michigan, the buck pulls.
Absolutely. It's a tradition of humanity.
Yes.
Once we stopped the marketing slaughter, the indiscriminate marketing slaughter, and created seasons, all of a sudden, science-based opening days to harvest the surplus ended up being November 15th in Michigan. I think that started back in the 30s or 40s. Mm-hmm. But whenever it started, that day, and isn't it fascinating that this year it's Saturday? It's going to be just unbelievable. It's going to sound like a war out there, and I love that.
Yeah, I was just talking to a friend. They were up in Gaylord area, and he said the place was packed yesterday. And, and that's just great to hear. I mean, because that's what this weekend's about. It's about getting out with your friends, getting out with your family, getting in the woods. And there's a lot of people that'll go up hunting. They won't go out hunting. They want to be the cook. Sure. They want to be the camp steward. And that's, man, there's just so many stories you could talk in that topic.
You know, back in the Nugent camp, the Nugent family camp, when we all got together, it pretty much stopped when my dad passed away. But there were days I didn't care who was cooking because I got out there an hour before daylight and I sat all day. I never got up except to, take care of business. But I'd spend the entire day in the woods. Now, I don't do that anymore. But there are still some gung-ho guys out there that spend the whole day in the woods because some of the best deer hunting on opening day is between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Don't forget that.
I score the big ones at Jerome, and I ask what time to shoot it.
Yes.
And I'll bet 50% of the really big giants, 10 and 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
The other day, 11.
So sleep in.
Yeah.
Now don't sleep in. There's something about getting up all groggy.
Before we end here, I want to thank you for your hospitality. Welcome us into your home. Everything you do.
Yep, my pleasure. Blood brothers.
Yeah, I appreciate the time that you give us on Michigan Deer Hunters. And
Michigan Deer Hunting Blood Brothers. That's who we are.
How many guys are cranking Fred Bear right now?
Yes, play it loud.
That's what you listen to on the way in the morning.
Exactly. Well, thank you for
Well,
joining
good, Dale.
us. for
Thank
having
you,
us-
Aaron,
having us-
Troy. I love you
you.
guys.
We want to wish you a continued good and safe hunting season.
Good luck, whack 'em and stack 'em, and
'em and
shoot the
stack
deer
'em.
that you like. I don't care about age or score. I care about backstraps and happiness.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's it.
And we're going to deer camp tonight with guys who we only see basically this night only and
Sure.
this weekend. So it's going to be awesome.
This is deer camp.
Yes, this
Deer
too.
camp.
No
This is the
running
ultimate
water.
Michigan.
no
Yeah, but every day
gambling.
this is deer camp. Every day this is deer camp.